Welcome to Clear Cloud Communications, an internet service provider that offers a unique opportunity to have a percentage of your monthly bill donated to the nonprofit organization of your choice. I'm Frank Martone, your first presenter, and our team will be sharing with you details on our billing donation system. Our software was developed to serve as our company's internal platform for customer management and new customer data entry, as well as a tool to maintain the list of nonprofit organizations. Now, this particular software was needed to help automate the client service aspects of company operations, and it will be used by the Clear Cloud Communications customer service representatives, management, and system administrators. We used a MySQL database to maintain customer records, and we also provided a web-based front end, which we built with PHP and HTML, to serve as the source for data entry, customer lookups, and provide management with some reporting tools. The team members consist of myself, project lead, Brian Oglesby, database designer, Karen Hall, lead programmer, and Christina Graham, programmer. Now, the motivation for this particular project was to provide a customized system for the Clear Cloud Communications customer service reps to utilize for customer and MPO management purposes. An initial review was conducted on currently existing products to see if there was anything available that already meets the needs and requirements of this system. However, with a unique nonprofit donation system, any existing system would have needed to have been modified. Due to the cost and complexity of such an endeavor, it was decided that we build this platform internally. Brian will now share with you an overview of some of the project requirements, as well as some of the development issues that we came across during the life of the project, along with our resolutions for those problems.
Hello, I'm Brian Oglesby, and I'll be going over the requirements overview, the development problems, and the problem resolutions. For the requirements overview, the first thing we had to deliver for this project was an ability to log into the software and maintain the system. After that, we had to worry about maintaining the customer information as well as a list of nonprofit organizations. Once we had that taken care of, we had to figure out a way to allow customers and our personnel to review monthly bills. Up next, we had to add the ability to select and deselect nonprofit organizations and monthly donation amounts. Then we had to provide the ability to create reports for subscribed nonprofit organizations. Continuing on with the requirements overview, this will essentially be a web-based application which will use a login page with username and passwords. Once a user has been verified on the system, they will be transferred to the main page where they can access different parts of the system's buttons and menus, etc., etc. Based on the selection the user makes on the main page, we will redirect them to a different page with the desired functionality. Say they wanted to edit a user, add a user, delete a user, select some nonprofit organizations, etc., etc. Finally, a log-off button will be provided so that they can exit the system properly. Up next, we have the list of development problems that we ran into during the course of this project. Now, one of the immediate things we ran into was access to the CS servers and providing a work environment where each of us could contribute something to the code and then further test from there. Once we were able to get that resolved, though, our next challenge was to design a SQL database which could work for our functionality. Now, our first draft of this only had 3 tables, which we later discovered, while trying to add the billing scenario, was nowhere near sufficient. And during the course of the project, we also realized that our initial scope was far too large and that we couldn't achieve it in the given time frame. Up next, we have the problem resolutions, and this is mostly going to focus on the issues we discussed on the previous slide. Now, as mentioned, we did eventually figure out which servers we needed to access and how we could set up a proper group account so that we could all access the same set of code. Later on during the design of the SQL database, we decided to split the users and accounts table so that we could more easily track different users and different accounts together. This came in turn with the addition of a 5th table, the billings table, which allowed us to properly track the bills. During the course of the project, we also were able to decide which parts of this code and which functionality we really wanted and that we couldn't live without, thus giving us the current release.
Hello, this is Karen Hall, and I'll be giving a brief overview of the system design. For the C3BDS, we use a 3-tier client-server architecture consisting of 3 separate layers. The client tier, or interface layer, in this case is the user's web browser. The middle tier, or application layer, contains application server and logic. And the database tier, or storage layer, is a MySQL database. The interface layer is the topmost level of the C3BDS. The user interface allows users to interact with the C3BDS via a web browser and is implemented using HTML, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript. The application layer acts as a bridge between the interface layer and storage layer, containing the logic and rules for storing and retrieving data in the database via PHP files running on an Apache web server. The storage layer consists of MySQL database servers, which provide persistent storage for the C3BDS, including user information, customer accounts, nonprofit organizations, service plans, and billing records. In client-server architectures, tasks are partitioned between service providers, such as web servers, and service requesters, such as web browsers. The architecture provides a high level of abstraction, hiding the complexity of the underlying system from users who only interact with the C3BDS through the web browser user interface. The independent components of multi-tier architectures also make them strongly maintainable and reusable, allowing the separate tiers to be upgraded or replaced independently of each other as requirements or technologies change. In terms of simplicity, extensibility, flexibility, reusability, and efficiency, the 3-tier architecture is ideally suited to web applications such as C3BDS. Now let's take a look at the actual web application. All users are required to log in to use the system. If username or password is left blank, or incorrect values are entered, the page displays an error message and prompts the user to try again. When a customer service representative enters the appropriate username and password, they will be redirected to the Customer Service Administration portal. As you can see, we're logged in as admin and may log out by clicking the logout link to the right of our username. The Customer Service Admin portal may display a welcome message or any other pertinent information for the user, along with contact information for the system administrator if the user has questions about the system or needs to report any problems. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have the main menu, which gives customer service reps options to return home to the main portal at any time, view customer bills, view, edit, add, delete customers, view, edit, add, delete nonprofit organizations, view several different reports, and view currently available service plans. The View Bill page allows customer service reps to view bills by bill ID or by customer ID month and year. If the user enters invalid search information, the system displays a bill not found message and prompts the user to try again. When a valid bill ID is entered, the bill is displayed below, including bill ID, date, and customer contact information, along with the customer's selected service plan and associated charges, their selected nonprofit organization and monthly donation amount, if any, and the total amount of the bill. Customer service reps may also search by customer ID, month, and year. And the customer bill for that month is displayed below. From here, the user may make another selection from the menu on the left, or click the Cancel button to return to the main portal page.
This is Frank, and I will be demonstrating for you the Customers section of our billing donation system. As you can see, we built in the ability to view, edit, add, or delete customers from our database. Now let's take a look at View. Simply click View, and we have the ability to either search by customer ID or by last name with the option of also adding first name in the search. Let's first look at customer ID. Enter the customer ID and click the Submit button. Now here we see that we've pulled up customer ID 13. We see the username and password, customer name, address, phone, email, service plan that's selected, and whether or not they have a nonprofit organization selected with the monthly donation amount. Now let's give it a shot here and do a search by last name. Now you can see that there are actually two customers with a last name Hall. Now if we were to add last name, first name, you now see that there's only one customer that's pulled up. Now, for editing customer information, you actually have two places that you can edit it. You can pull up the customer information and then click the edit button here, or you can edit right from the first menu. Now they're a little bit different, so let me show you both. Here, if you click edit, you already have the customer information pulled up. Now let's say the customer moved. They moved to 123 South K Street. And let's say that their phone number changed. Enter the new number. And they also changed the nonprofit organization they would like to donate to, as well as the dollar amount. When you're all done, click Submit. OK. And you're right back to the customer display information. You can see the changes were made, address, phone number, nonprofit organization. Now let's look and see what the difference is with using the edit button on the main menu. When you click the edit button here, you come up with a customer search window. You've got to actually search for the customer and pull them up first. Now we're here, it's got the customer information. We can make those changes like we did in the last screen. Just make your changes, click Submit. OK. We're now back viewing the customer information. Now if you hit Cancel here, you're going to come back to the initial customer service admin portal. Now let's add a customer. Click Add, and you come here with a blank customer window. So let's go ahead and fill in some information here. I've got username, password, first name, last name, address, we got phone, we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Email is andrews@gmail.com. Service plan. And again, this is just a prototype. The actual product would have more descriptive service plan names, things like that. Same thing with nonprofit organizations and donation amount. When you're done, submit. OK. And now it takes you right back to the View Customer page, and we can see the customer that was added. Now, deleting customers is very simple. Customer ID search window again. We're going to delete the customer we just added. Customer ID was 18. Submit. And before it deletes it, it's going to prompt you, are you sure you want to delete this customer? And it actually displays the customer information for you. If that was the incorrect customer, you just click no. In this case, we're going to click yes and actually delete the customer. Yes. OK. Now let's see if it worked. Let's do a search for customer ID 18. Submit. And of course, like we had hoped, customer's not found. It says please check the customer ID and try again. So that's pretty much the overview of the customer section, how to view, edit, add, and delete customers. Click OK, cancel, and we're back to the Customer Service Admin portal. Brian will now demonstrate for you the NPO section of the billing donation system.
Hello, my name is Brian Oglesby, and I'll be going over the NPO View, Edit, Add, and Delete functionality. The first thing we're going to take care of is the Add functionality of NPOs. From this screen, we're able to generate any NPO we desire, but for our purposes, we'll just create a demonstration. So, we'll start off with demonstration. The street address, we will provide a standard string, 1234 Cherry Street. The city will be Lynn Haven. And here I can select a drop down if I desire, but I'll just type Florida. 32404 for the zip code. And a phone number, will give it something basic, say 850-234-9877. And submit. And now our NPO has been generated. Up next, we're going to go over the view function of NPOs. So, using the NPO we demonstrated in our last video, we're going to select NPO name and type our name in. So, for our purposes, demonstration. And submit. And as you can see, we generate a nice little readout of our NPO with the NPO ID, the name, the address, and the phone number. Now remember this ID because we're going to use it later. Up next, we're going to go over the edit functionality of NPOs. So, remember that NPO ID we demonstrated last time? Well, now we're going to use it. So our NPO ID was 12. And submit. And from here we can choose to change anything about our NPO that we desire. So let's say I'm not happy with demonstration anymore. And now I want to do professional demonstration. Save. And the NPO has been updated. And we can view that here. Correction, here. Type in 12 for our NPO ID. And here we see professional demonstration. And for our last section on NPOs, we want to go over the delete functionality. Right here. So once again, we're going to type in our NPO ID of 12 and submit. And now you see a little question, are you sure you want to delete this NPO? NPO ID 12, professional demonstration, our address, and our phone number. Oh yes, yes I do. And now it's gone. And if we attempt to view our NPO ID, no NPO exists.
The C3 Billing and Donation System webpage allows you to see two different types of reports. The first being the nonprofit organization customer list. When you pull up this screen, you'll be able to enter an ID of a nonprofit organization and view the people that are making donations and the amount that they're making. The second choice is a nonprofit organization donation total. Again, we'll enter 2 for the ID of the nonprofit organization and submit. And this report will show us the donation total made to the nonprofit organization for a given year. We also offer service plans, and if you click on View, you can either type in an ID for a service plan or a name, or simply leave both search fields blank and hit Submit. This will pull up all service plans that we offer. Here you can see all 3 that we currently offer, the names of them, the prices, and the features that each one offers. And last but not least, to log out, simply click the logout link at the top of the page. This will bring you back to the main login page. Lessons learned. Web pages can be developed with solely PHP and HTML. Some commands that work in SQL Server do not work in MySQL. If you build your SQL tables before you have a solid plan for your front-end database queries, updates will likely be needed to the tables and/or primary keys. Unique constraints for the database tables are helpful in eliminating the need to repeat certain values. As the front-end design for the web pages progresses, changes to the database structure may be needed to accommodate these. Communication between front-end and back-end teams is crucial in keeping the project on track, as development is a continuous process and often brings change to the original design that was laid out. If everyone communicates change effectively, time will be managed most efficiently. Good communication was key to the development of C3 billing and donation system. Through Scrum meetings and frequent emails, our team was able to effectively handle changing requirements of the project and truly implement agile methodologies. The fact that we were able to identify necessary changes to the structure and design early in the development process allowed us to stay on track and allocate the necessary time needed to produce our deliverable by the deadline. No extra costs or hours were incurred, and we were able to deliver a working prototype as planned. The project was an overall success. Future work recommendations. Organization of database billings table into multiple automatically generated tables separated by the user. Improve delete user functionality by allowing the use of usernames instead of the auto-incremented customer ID. Improve NPO customer list by making this a drop-down instead of a text field. Improve the NPO donation total functionality by changing this to a drop-down of possible NPOs instead of requesting an NPO ID in a text field. Improve the add customer functionality by saving data input into fields if the add user functionality fails due to conflicting primary keys in the database. Improve the edit customer functionality by taking username as an argument rather than the auto-incremented customer ID. Improve View Build functionality by removing Bill ID field and using the username field instead of the customer ID field.
On behalf of Clear Cloud Communications, we would like to thank you for this opportunity to share with you our billing donation system, and we look forward to our future releases.